Welcome to a Telltale Books video, and this video is my April wrap-up and introduction to our May activities. Someone made the comment when I asked if people felt this was a good idea, that it may be difficult for us to come up with news every month, once a month, and for the most part, this month has been very slow for that. I mean, there's been some continuing stories that I've already talked about, but not a huge amount. So, but there are things to talk about. There are definitely things to talk about, and at the very least, I can talk about what we are doing for the month of May and what we did do for the month of April. But to start off, the main news story that I have to talk about, really the only real news story I have to talk about, is the announcement of the Hugo Award finalists. It is out. There's a lot of overlap with the Nebulas. A lot of the Nebula finalists also are Hugo finalists this year, which is, it's pretty traditional for the Nebula Awards to mirror the Hugo Awards pretty much. There's always some differences between the two, but for the most part, they have matched. There's a lot of books that have won both, a lot of books and stories that have won both the Hugo and Nebula Awards in their year. So that's not unusual to see. So the Hugo Awards, the finalists are out. The listing is online. You can look it up. I have already been going through, like I say, half of them in the short story and novelette category are the same as the Nebula Awards. I don't need to read those because I already read them and already reviewed them for the Nebula Awards. You just have to understand that now they are for both Nebula and Hugo. In some cases, I've put it in the description of the videos. So I've been reading the ones that I haven't done reviews of so far. I think I got all the short stories done, and I think I got the novelettes done too. No, I'm working on the novelettes yet. I've read all the short story Hugo nominations, and I will be going through at least short story and novelette. I don't know if I'll have time to get to the novellas and the novels as much as I'd like to, especially certain ones like The Tusks of Extinction. That's a book. I liked Ray Naylor's Mountain in the Sea, so I would really love to read The Tusks of Extinction too. Just don't know if I'm going to get time because we've got a lot going on here with Telltale. And that brings me to, what are the new books that are coming out for me? There are other people, particularly Locus, that do a great job of telling you all of the new releases. I would have you go to them if you want a full list of what's coming out in May. I'm just going to mention the ones that are of interest to me. The only one that I've seen coming out in May so far is The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. Now, I've never read anything by Abercrombie, but I've heard a lot of great things. But I'm seeing kind of mixed reviews of The Devils. So I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. But I'm kind of intrigued. I kind of like the cover. That's the one book coming out in May that I might be interested in. And I'm not aware of anything else. I'm not even aware of any reprints that would be books that are up Telltale Books alley. So check that out if you're interested. Moving on then, what did Telltale Books do for April? During the month of April, we did a lot of reading. We read the next Francis Stevens, The Labyrinth. That review will be coming during May. And our April reading, we get together usually middle of the month and we shoot the videos and then the videos we shoot at that time then go on our channel for the next month. So the videos we shot mid-May will appear during the month of May. So you haven't seen any of them yet. So we've got the next Francis Stevens called The Labyrinth. That one's coming up with me and Emily. We also read The Colloquy of Munoz and Una by Edgar Allan Poe. That's coming up. Herbert West Reanimator by H.P. Lovecraft is coming up. And Prowler in the City at the Edge of the World by Harlan Ellison from the Dangerous Visions anthology. Part of that read-through is coming up in May. And we did kind of a special project. I'm not sure that you'll like the results. We read Tarzan. Neither of us had ever read Tarzan of the Apes before. We knew some of the movies, but we never read the book. So we read the book, and we reviewed the book. But what I did is I got in touch with Michael K. Vaughan, because he is really big on Edgar Rice Burroughs. I think he knows a great deal about Burroughs and about Tarzan. So I got him to agree to do a chat with us over Zoom. It was the first time we've ever done anything like that. So we didn't have experience with Zoom. We didn't have experience with doing that kind of a discussion with somebody outside of Telltale. Very much a learning experience. I think the portion with Michael went well and recorded well, but then Emily and I, because of issues with Zoom, we recorded a piece before without Michael, and then recorded a piece of the two of us talking about it after we talked to Michael, and the recording quality on those suffered, which I apologize for. First time with the two of us recorded with my iPad. I'm using my iPad right now. I've discovered some things about the software I'm using that I think will help me do a little better here than the results I've gotten with my iPad so far. So I'm using my iPad right now to do this, and I'm kind of experimenting because I lost my video camera. It's trashed. So I'm experimenting with ways of shooting the video without having to spend huge amounts of money on a new camera, because I just don't have it right now. It's not going to happen. I'm experimenting, trying to find the best way to do these videos that'll give us the best quality. And so far, not entirely thrilled with results, and especially on that one. That was the first time I used the iPad with both me and Emily. So the iPad was further back, microphone was further away. It didn't go so well, and we had this bright light. There's a window over here, and we had this bright sunlight coming in behind Emily's head, which, kind of put both of us in shadow. Even me, even though I wasn't by the window. The iPad still kind of corrected things for that bright light and made both of us dark, and it's just frustrating that it didn't turn out so good. But the talk went really well, and I'm so happy that Michael joined us for that. I hope he or other people will agree to do things like that with us again. Now that we've got one under our belt, we should be able to do a better job the next time. And it would be interesting. So if you're somebody who knows a lot about some of the older stuff, and you hear that we got something coming up, get in touch with us. Leave a comment, or I've got our email address on our channel. Send me an email, and I would love to set something up where we include you in our videos. And you can tell us what you know about these stories. I'll be very happy to include people for that. But I also would love it if Michael would come back sometime in the future, maybe for Robert E. Howard, maybe for a Lovecraft, I don't know. He knows all those things. Lovecraft, Emily and I know quite a bit about. Robert E. Howard is another one where I don't know much, and Emily has never read any of it. So it wouldn't be bad to have someone like Michael helping us out getting the facts straight on that stuff. So that video is actually, the day that this video goes up on YouTube, I shoot these wraps the day before they go on YouTube. So this will be on YouTube at midnight tonight. And then at midnight tomorrow night, Friday morning, our Tarzan video should be on. And just understand the video quality, audio quality is way below par for what even I've been getting. But the discussion is interesting and worth watching at least part of it, at least Michael's part. You know, watch it for Michael's contribution at the very least. So that's coming up. We read Tarzan of the Apes, and Emily wants to keep going with the series. I want to read everything by Edgar Rice Burroughs. So the next one that I'll do is The Gods of Mars. Emily doesn't want to continue with the Martian novels, but she wants to continue with the Tarzan novels. Another thing I have coming up is that Blackheart Books in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, relatively new bookstore, starting at the beginning of this year. The owner, I forget her name, she set up the Grave Tales book club. She has multiple book clubs, and one of them is Grave Tales. It's all fiction, and that's the one I like. So I've been participating in that. I did it last month. Emily and I did it the month before, and I'm participating again this month. Tomorrow night I go to the book club, and then after that I'm going to shoot my video of the book. The book we read for this month is The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. This will be my first Stephen Graham Jones. And so I'm going to shoot and put up a video of my review, my impressions of that book. So that's coming up. And for the next Grave Tales, it's going to be Annihilation, which I've really, really wanted to find time to get to. So I'm going to be reading Annihilation. The book club meeting is going to be June 6th. Emily can't get Annihilation done for that date, but she does want to read it and do the video with me. So sometime after that, maybe in July, we're going to have a review of Jeff Vandermeer's Annihilation. And I have the entire Ariax trilogy, the first 3 books. And I haven't read them yet. So I got to read through those because, of course, he has a 4th book. And I've been wanting to read Annihilation, well, since the movie, honestly. So that's coming up for us. I also have coming up the next in the Agatha Christie series, The Secret Adversary. That's a novel-length one. Can't remember if that's pro or not, but I'm going to be reading that and doing a review of it later on in the month of May. And then for our June video shoot, we're going to start, we've already started reading it because it's such a huge book, Giovanni Boccaccio's The Decameron. We are going to read and we are going to review that entire book. And we already ran into kind of a snag with that one. The classic English translation of the Decameron, the John Payne translation, Mr. Payne, writing in the 1880s, his writing style is atrocious. It is so hard to understand what the heck he's trying to say. His sentences go on and on and on, uses lots of antiquated words. I mean, Edgar Allan Poe is easy to read compared to this guy. This guy, and it's not, maybe he was doing this for style, but he wasn't successful at creating an interesting style in this book. It's just horrible to read. So I told Emily, I'm going to get a more modern translation for us to read from. And so I'm waiting for that to be, I bought it off Amazon today. I'm waiting for that to be delivered so we can get going. Kind of a bad snag. That's going to cost me a week in getting into it. But in the meantime, our main book for the month of May is What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. I'll put it over in this spot. This is our main read for the month of May. That was Emily's pick. She wanted to read What Moves the Dead. And I've been wanting to read that too. I bought that book when it was brand new, 2022. So 3 years, haven't read it yet. I've been wanting to get to it. It's supposed to be based off of The Fall of the House of Usher, which we both think is an awesome story. So we're really excited to be reading it, and we'll be shooting that during the month of May, and it will be on the channel sometime in June. So we got lots of cool things coming up, lots of cool stuff after June that you'll be seeing from us, including I'm fast approaching The Stand by Stephen King. I don't know if I can get Emily to read that with me, because that again is a super thick book. I'll try to get her to do it, but if not, I'm going to be tackling it because I'm coming up on that one in publication order. That's the next novel I'll get to. I've got 3 or 4 short stories to get through, and then I'm at The Stand. I'm scheduling it to hit me in August for when to read it, and then September when I put the review up. So that's coming up, Stephen King's The Stand. We've got lots of exciting things here, and continuing our Francis Stevens. The next Francis Stevens after The Labyrinth is a short story, Friend Island. We'll be doing that, putting that one up in June. After that is The Citadel of Fear by Francis Stevens. So that'll be going up shortly after, probably in July. Lots of good stuff coming. So I hope you'll come back and join us for all of that, all the things we're doing. I think it's a pretty exciting time. I'm really loving all the variety of what I'm reading. For a while there, I was just doing old science fiction, and I love old science fiction. I was loving it, but the channel was starting to become perceived as a science fiction channel, and I really didn't want that. I want Telltale Books to be perceived as general literature. Yes, science fiction, yes, horror, yes, fantasy, but yes, regular literature too. Anything that we think is a really great book, we'll talk about it, even some nonfiction. And that's what I want us to be known about as a channel that talks about great books in general, and does not have a problem with pulp fiction or science fiction or dipping into the genres. But we also don't have a problem with reading William S. Burroughs or the Decameron or Virginia Woolf. We actually do have a Virginia Woolf book coming up at the end of this year. So, I love the fact that right now I am getting into so much. I'm reading a science fiction this month. I'm reading some horror this month. I'm reading some fantasy this month. I'm reading a mystery this month. I'm reading a great classic from the Renaissance. I'm reading it this month, reviewing it in June. Just such a great variety of what we're doing here on Telltale Books. And right now, I've got, and there's all the Hugo Nebula winners. I've got such a pile of books that I'm trying to read through right now to do reviews of. And it's all great stuff and very exciting. And so I hope you'll come back and watch it. I hope you'll enjoy it as much as I do. So that's a wrap for April and the beginning of May. We're now starting the month of May, and I still got frost on my windshield in the morning. Man, this is not right. Spring has been here a while. We need warmer temperatures. I want to get out and work in the yard and stuff. But that's That's Wisconsin. Down by Samantha, they've been getting 60, 70 degree weather. It's not fair. But she's also getting big spiders coming out and scaring her to death. We don't get that here. So that's it. I hope you'll come back and join us. And otherwise, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and enjoy your reading.